And then, of course, 2008, you entered the infrastructure space in MMRDA at that point of time.
Yes.
And then I think, history that Eastern Freeway and
all those projects happened. Yes.
But my question to you is, how was it in that era? In 2008, when all these development projects were just setting out and all of that.
I think my entry into urban infrastructure was a bit accidental. As I said, I came a bit early, and then what is the career graph? Hence, because I had skipped my collectorship, I tried to get, but I couldn't. Then I received a transfer order from Rajmund, because I had spent almost 5 years there, and I was posted in BMC as Joint Commissioner. But for some reason, that order also got cancelled. So I was a bit, irritated, disappointed, because I had done my my kids were now grown up, and I was ready to take something on the field. But finally, government said, okay, you go to MMRDA. MMRDA already had, of course, Metropolitan Commissioner and one post of Additional Commissioner. And this was a newly created post, because by that time MMRDA had a very dynamic commissioner, Mr. Ratnakar Gaikwad, and he had taken up a lot of infra projects. So he thought only one additional commissioner that won't be able to do justice to this. So he created
one more.
And then I was the first incumbent on that post. I was asked to go there. Now my kind of area of infrastructure which I had dabbled with was the rural infrastructure. When I was CEO Sindhudurg and CEO Nagpur, I had worked, as you referred to, this check dams. So these were the Vanrai Bandharas which I had built, of course, along with my team when I was in Nagpur, and that was basically to take care of the micro irrigation in rural area. I had again, along with my team, done a huge number of Indira Awas houses, which was the housing scheme. Jawahar Wales, which was again the micro irrigation scheme of the government. Rural roads, lot of this rural infrastructure, which was a huge backlog of that, and many projects which were pending in Nagpur district. I had taken a drive and got them completed. So I knew how to get a project done. But urban infra is a completely different game altogether. And when I came to MMRDA and took charge first time, and whatever subjects were entrusted to me, I saw that there were all these Eastern Freeway, Sahar Elevated Road, Milan ROB, Dahisar ROB, so many flyovers, so many skywalks, and a lot of projects, even a huge campaign for urban sanitation. We were to build some 40,000 toilets in entire MMR. So this was a completely new cup of tea for me. And
were you excited?
Yeah, of course I was excited, but I was a bit scared also. I said, whether I'm not an engineer, and I have not done this before. I don't have any experience of working in urban sphere. So whether I will be able to take this responsibility, whether I will be able to deliver. But then it was so much fun. It was so exciting, because when I started working and I interacted with my team, and I said, this is a great learning experience and an opportunity for me. So I started working on the building bricks of these projects, and going into details and how this is built. And then I realized that all the projects were there. Coconut breaking had happened, but the projects were stuck, because on ground it was really difficult to do these projects. And the projects which I had to deal with, they were of different variety, including first metro, monorail. So it was a mix of road projects, connectivity project, missing link projects, and elevated road projects and metro projects. So these are now specialized projects.
Right.
So first you need to know the basics of this, how they are built, and on top of it, understanding the ground situation, why these projects are not happening, and then to solve them. So I had to go in the problem solving mode, and to understand that, first I had to understand the projects. So I just sat down with my engineers, asked them to explain me in a layman's language, what is pile foundation, what is pile cap, then what is pier cap, and what are those trusses, what is launching, what is segmental construction, what is in situ construction. So a lot of things, the basics I understood, and I tried to understand the challenges. So if it's an in situ construction in a city like Mumbai where you don't have that much space, then what are the difficulties?
Right.
And if it is a segmental construction, then you have to find places outside where the segments are cast, and then they are brought. Then the transportation issues in Mumbai, there are restrictions on timings of heavy vehicles, then traffic management, then rehabilitation issues. So I just jumped into it, and it was I mean, I actually enjoyed every bit of it, because it was a completely new learning for me. And then I understood the nitty-gritties, sat with my team. Fortunately, I could motivate them, encourage them, and jointly we delivered almost all the projects. Even there was some basic rules were framed for R&R, the rehabilitation, because in India, urban projects were never thought of. Even the rehabilitation policies of the country or the act was mainly for the rural projects like dams or rural roads.
So
or
rehabilitation was only thought about from a rural standpoint.
Perspective, because India's initial thinking was always, it was more rural. The rural bias was always there. For urban rehabilitation, there was no specific policy. In Mumbai, because of the MUTP project, which was funded by World Bank, so World Bank insisted that you can't just throw people out, because Mumbai, every inch of land is encroached. So you need to have a policy for the rehabilitation. So World Bank has forced kind of state government to make a rehabilitation policy. But naturally, a policy is not enough to cover all cases of rehabilitation.
Right.
So what happened in the first phase of these road widening and all MUIP and MUTP project, that worked, because these were linear kind of structures which they had to remove. But when you started doing this more complex project, the rehabilitation challenges became more and more complex. So what we did in MMRDA, and that was possible because of a very liberal boss like Mr. Ratnakar Gaikwad, or later on Mr. Asthana, Mr. UPS Madan, who gave full freedom for us to think through and come up with policies. And I would also say the state government also didn't the local representatives were also very mature. So whenever we found that certain rehabilitation cases were not fitting into the existing policy, so we would come up with a solution and make that as a policy. So this is how we kept on adding value to whatever already there and keep on building it.